Confidence is the first step toward fluency. Many learners know grammar rules, they know plenty of words, but still struggle with confidence. In today's video, I sat down with an expert tutor and discussed exactly this: how to build confidence while speaking in English. Trust me, this video is packed with amazing insights, and by the end of it, you're definitely going to take away something valuable for your own journey. So, do watch it till the end and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Now, let's get into the video.
Good
I'm really
morning.
sorry I'm too late.
That's okay. That's okay. I can imagine how busy mornings are for all.
Mornings are busy, plus this network issue. So, I was
Oh,
trying to figure this thing out, and then finally, I'm here.
okay, okay. So do you face this quite often?
No, no, not quite often. Actually, the plug was loose, and I was trying to find for other solutions. And then
All
at
right.
last, I found out that the plug was loose, so I just simply had to press it.
Okay, great, great. All right. So how have you been?
I have been great. And what about you? How is everything?
Doing well. Thank you for asking. So how was the weekend?
The weekend was nice. It was my nephew's birthday.
Hmm.
So we had a small celebration, and
Hmm.
then it was really nice. So I often get many questions from my subscribers on confidence, and we all know that confidence is the first step to fluency, right? It plays a
Absolutely.
huge role, no
Right.
matter you're a beginner, intermediate, or an advanced learner, right? So since this is the very first step to fluency, so how to gain confidence? And we're going to first talk about beginner level, okay? Because
Mhm.
sometimes it happens many times, or every time I would say they feel it very difficult to take that very first step, and for that they need to gather a lot of courage and confidence, right? So how
Right.
to do that?
Well, I would say the first, the very reason for that lack of confidence is the fear of judgment, whether you would make mistakes and people would laugh at you or mock you. So that keeps you from proceeding any further. So
Hmm.
I think people prioritize accuracy over fluency. So there are different
Yes.
schools of thought when it comes to language learning. So I, for one, I prioritize any day fluency over accuracy because at the end of the day, even I make mistakes. I'm sure anybody who's in this journey, whether they've never been a native speaker, where they have learned English as a second language, mistakes are a part of the game. We just have
Yes.
to accept that. And as long as it doesn't affect the effectiveness of the communication, it's all right to make these mistakes. It's human.
Hmm.
And it's absolutely all right. There's nothing criminal about it. And
Right.
understanding that and being supportive, so that has it's a two-way street, so it doesn't happen just from the learner side. I think the co-learners or the listener also has to be more appreciative of that fact. And then it becomes an easier journey, I feel. So
True,
yes,
true.
prioritizing
Yes.
consistency over
Mhm.
accuracy any day.
Right, right. So we'll definitely prioritize fluency. Let's suppose we can picture this thing that we have prioritized fluency over accuracy. And now, when we go forward, when we try to talk to someone, again, that fear of judgment comes, or that
Mhm.
fear of making mistakes, as you have already mentioned, that comes. But we have to throw this out of the window, the fear, right? No matter people laugh at you or they mock you, take that. But I mean, we should not run from it. We should feel every emotion. You feel nervousness, you feel hesitation. It's okay to feel these emotions. Why do people run from it? I always tell my learners also, when you feel it, that's when you try to overcome it. You juggle a lot, to just run away from these emotions. But you need to face that first. You need to face your fear. You'll sit at home and you're thinking like, no, I'm not good enough. What if people mock me or laugh at me? So you're doing nothing at all. But when you take that first step, so that could be the biggest step in your life, right?
Yes,
So that's definitely true. Fear of making mistakes, fear of judgment. We have to throw these two fears out of the window. First step to confidence.
absolutely. Very
True that.
true.
And as you've
When
already
you,
mentioned, fluency over accuracy.
right. Yes, yes.
So, yes. So don't focus on accuracy at the initial level, focus on fluency. I have many beginners with me. We practice English with one another every day. And they always tell me, ma'am, please correct our mistakes, please correct our mistakes every time, because they want to get corrected, because of the mindset they have. Actually, they feel that
Mhm.
we need to speak correct English,
Right.
right?
Yes.
But I always tell them, first be comfortable with the language, first focus on fluency. We can work on accuracy later in the stage, maybe at intermediate level we can work on it, right? But you need to speak with confidence and flow first.
Absolutely.
Later on accuracy comes into the picture. That's so right. And one more thing, there is a set of people there who know grammar or many vocabulary words, but they still feel underconfident. So what about them?
To speak.
Yes, to speak.
Right.
They tell me, like, I get across many learners, and this is also a set of people that I come across. They tell me, ma'am, I know grammar,
Mm.
I know many vocabulary words, so I'm not a beginner. I
Mm.
am an intermediate learner. But when it's their time to speak, they cannot utter a single word. So how do they
Mm.
consider themselves an intermediate learner, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I tell them, think of it as a as from that speaking part, from that you know what I mean. I mean, you are a beginner at speaking. You could be an intermediate at writing and everything, but you're a beginner at speaking. So you have
Yes,
to
yes.
take it that way. So for them, what would you like to suggest?
Well, it so happens I have also come across these learners who always prioritize approaching the language like a subject. Like how they would learn a subject, they would approach the language that way. So they sit down, learn a lot of vocabulary, learn at least five new words every single day. I appreciate the hard work that they are doing. They are very perseverant because otherwise it's not easy to sit and do and put yourself through so much of, hard work despite your busy schedules. So I'm very appreciative of the effort that they're taking. But unfortunately, it's not in the right direction. So if you're somebody who's into writing alone and who never has to speak, probably this will work for them. But I do not know how many of us can survive that way. Speaking is a very important part of, thanks to the Britishers who went around colonizing half the world. Unfortunately, this is a reality. This is the truth that we have to face today. We cannot survive without speaking skills. Probably 1% of the population probably can get away with just writing skills, but I do not know how many are there in today's world who can just let
Right.
that uh, prove or bring success for them. For the remaining 99%, you need to figure out how to go about the speaking aspect of the language, and that becomes the most important aspect. And
Yes.
I would say it is simple and complicated at the same time. The very simple solution to it, I think most of the learners would find it irritating when somebody say this: practice, practice, practice. That's what every tutor or every trainer tells them. But unfortunately, that's the only way to go about it. It's simple, but at the same time, it's complicated because not everybody has a right environment around them to practice. Not everybody gets the time to practice. So, as I said before, it is simple and complicated at the same time. So, if you can find the right space, you don't need another human being, even. Just look at yourself in the mirror, look at yourself in the eye, and speak. So, even that can be confidence building, as you mentioned before. That can be the first step that you take towards making sure that you overcome those fears, those jitters every time you feel whenever you have to speak in front of somebody. So,
Yes.
yes, you are talking to yourself in the mirror. I know that it's not another human being, but that can be the first step. So, look at yourself in the eye and then just start speaking. So, make all the more mistakes that you want to. It's okay. Make as many as you want to. It's absolutely all right. As you rightfully mentioned, at a beginner level, you shouldn't prioritize accuracy because even if you know 1,000 words in English, and they can be at a, I would say, at a Shashi Tharoor level. Oh my God! I mean, that person is so admirable, and I love listening to him. But would you use it in your daily life? That's what matters. Can you put it in context? That's what matters. If you cannot use those words in daily life, what's the point of sitting down and learning 10 every day? It's I would call it not so fruitful. I wouldn't call it wasteful because that's too harsh, but I don't think it'll bear fruit for you.
And it's time consuming also when you
Yes,
don't know the right direction.
absolutely. And if you cannot make a productive use out of it, what's the whole point?
Yes, yes.
Instead of doing that, I often tell my learners, so what they do is they spend 1 hour solving grammatical exercises. They spend another half an hour learning 5 new words a day. Please stop doing all of that. That 1.5 hours, I'll give you other solutions, other ways to learn this language. Listen to YouTube podcasts, listen to shadowing practices, do shadowing, or maybe practice with a tutor, or maybe as you have come across, as you have these WhatsApp communities. So help each other out, engage in real life conversations that can bring you more. Uh, Fruitful efforts than anything else than these grammatical exercises or practicing vocabulary on a daily basis. I don't think that can give you the right results compared to these real life practices. So that's something that I do for
Yes. Yes, so true, so true. And when you practice in groups, I would say you feel confident every day. And when you skip, even for a single day, you slip back to that underconfidence,
and
right?
you feel you're missing out on something, so you want to catch up, which is a great
Yes,
thing.
when you learn in groups,
Yes,
right? And
yes.
you might feel demotivated when you learn alone with yourself. You
Hmm.
might feel demotivated after a certain point of time. So that's why learning in groups are the best.
Yes, yes.
And yes, I also want to mention one thing. Like, if this English language is not so crucial, so why do you feel underconfident in front of people who are speaking in English? And if you feel that it's really important, it's making you feel underconfident, so work towards it. Push yourself out of your comfort zone and work towards it. Even when you struggle, even when you don't find the right way, but still do it. Experiment with different practices and see what works best for you. Because again, if something is working for you, me, doesn't mean it will work for you as well, right?
Hmm.
So that's why it's just struggle. Struggling is not bad, right? When you struggle, where you learn with your experiences, right?
That's how
So
you
listen to
learn yourself
everyone.
too.
Listen to everyone, but at the end, listen to yourself. Am I making sense here?
Yes, 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 absolutely. And that's how we learned our mother tongues, right? Not that we were born speaking full sentences in our mother tongue. Absolutely not. We learn
Mhm.
by imitating our parents, listening to our parents, and initially we mixed up, every single word. We did not know to construct those sentences, but we still managed to communicate, and that's how we learn. That's how we learn
Mhm.
every language on earth.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I also put a lot of emphasis on this thing that spice your Hindi up with English words and you feel
Hmm.
so much confidence. Your heart swells up with pride, when you do it at initial stage. I used to do it this way. Like I would speak a Hindi sentence and then I would just include the English word into it. For example,
Okay, that's nice.
कि ये बहुत expensive है. And when you use that word expensive, that heavy word in English, you feel so proud that I have used this word. So this is how you start your journey. Like you need not to be perfect to start.
Right, right. And
Right?
that's a really good tip. Yes, you can slowly mix it up and then level up your
Yes.
game
Yes, yes. Slowly
eventually.
and gradually increase the percentage of English in your daily life. And at one
Mm.
point in time, you'll be pro. You'll be using 100% English.
Yes, absolutely. You're right. And it's an
Yes.
ongoing journey, and accepting that also makes a lot of difference, I feel. So
Hmm.
sometimes people, again, as you would learn a subject, you reach a certain level, you finish your exams, and you're done with it. So it's not so much like that. So every learning, even when it comes to a subject, even if it is a language, it's an ongoing process, and accepting that
Yes.
also makes a lot of difference. I
Hmm. And people really struggle with it because they don't have time these days. They are into
feel.
so many things at once. They don't have time to sit in front of laptop or maybe to watch a video really attentively. So
Mm,
yes, that's the problem. But still, you have to figure this thing out if you really want to excel at this language.
no doubt.
Yes, and what about this? This is really interesting. I actually feel that, like, for me, when I open my hair and
Mm-hmm.
I sit in front of my laptop, I show up this way. I feel so confident, right? And
Mm,
then when I dress myself well, that is again
mm,
a factor that makes me feel confidence.
Yes,
confident.
yes.
So, what are your views about this external factors to confidence?
I totally think that they add a certain level of decorum to the overall atmosphere. It sets the tone. So, absolutely, especially being a teacher, I don't think there's a way around it for us. Sometimes I feel it is important that you dress a certain way so that you set the tone right for your students. So, it makes
Yes.
a lot of difference that way. I'm so
Yes.
sorry to interrupt you, but we're sort of running out of time. But as
Okay.
always, it was great chatting with you, and
Right,
hoping
right.
to continue the journey soon. And I'm
Yes.
so sorry to cut you out, but yes, and I
No,
have to
no.
say, um, you know, every time you show up for the sessions, I can see that you dress yourself up in such a way that you are the most presentable person in the room. So I have to appreciate you for that.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for those amazing insights. I'm going to catch up again with the similar topic in the next one because we are not done yet.
Would love to. Would love to. Let's take this up on a later day.
Yes, yes. Okay,
All
then have
right.
a great day ahead.
Yes, yes.
Bye.
You
Take
too.
care.
Thank you, and have a great day. Bye bye.
Thank you.